Welcome back, everyone, to Storytime with the Wimberleys. Grab your pillow and blanket and let's get ready for Storytime. Today's story is Corduroy by Don Freeman. Corduroy, story and pictures by Don Freeman. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. There's Corduroy, and he's sitting on a shelf with a doll, a giraffe, a rabbit, and a clown. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. There's Corduroy. He's sitting on the shelf, and this is a big department store. Up here it says Toys, Toys. There's a stuffed dog, a lion, I think that's another cat, the giraffe, the doll, Corduroy, rabbit, an ABC block, a ball, a rocking horse toy, and shoppers. And there's a mom and a little girl. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." So there's Corduroy, and he is missing a button because on the other side he has a white button. And here's the little girl and her mom. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. There's a little girl and her mom, and they're walking away. And Corduroy, who's missing his button, is looking very sad. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." There's Corduroy, and he's looking at his missing spot on his overalls where his button is missing. Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. So here's Corduroy, and he's climbing off his shelf. In this picture, he's looking around on the floor for his button. Do you see his button? I don't see it either. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. So here's Corduroy again, and he walked onto an escalator. An escalator, they are moving stairs. So they're stairs that go all the way up. Could this be a mountain? He wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs, and lamps and sofas, and rows of beds. This must be a palace, Corduroy gasped. I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace. So here's Corduroy. He looks so tiny compared to all the furniture in the room. There's the escalator. You have couches, lamps, tables, chairs. Here's another lamp. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10, or 12 beds. He wandered around admiring the furniture. This must be a bed, he said. I've always wanted to sleep in a bed. And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. Here's Corduroy, and he's climbing up onto the mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. Why, here's my button, he cried, and he tried to pick it up, but like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. So here's Corduroy again. He's on his mattress, and he's trying to pull the button, but he's having a difficult time because it's still attached, but he's pulling. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Here's Corduroy. He's flying off the mattress, and so goes the button too. And it looks like he knocks over a lamp too. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Oh no, Corduroy knocked over the lamp. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. Now, who in the world did that? He exclaimed. Somebody must be hiding around here. So there's the night watchman. He looks like he's going down the escalator, and he has a flashlight to see where he's going because everything is dark. And here he is again, and he's looking around where Corduroy had knocked over the lamp. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Hello, he said. How did you get upstairs? There's the night watchman, and he found Corduroy hiding underneath the covers. The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator. He set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. So there's Corduroy. He got put back on his shelf by the night watchman. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. there's Corduroy. He had just woken up, and the little girl who was looking at him the other day is right there, staring at him right now. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." So there's the little girl. She has her purse. And there's the cashier who's going to help her purchase Corduroy. Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. So there's the sales lady, and there's the little girl whose name is Lisa, and she's holding Corduroy. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. There's Lisa, the little girl, and Corduroy, and Lisa's running up the steps to get to her apartment. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." So this is the little girl, Lisa, and this is her bedroom. And there's Corduroy. And he's just looking everywhere. He's admiring his new home. There's Corduroy's bed, and there's Lisa's bed. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." So here's the little girl named Lisa and Corduroy, and she's sewing a button onto Corduroy's shoulder strap. And Corduroy looks very happy in this picture. He has a great big smile on his face. "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. There's Lisa and Corduroy, and he is smiling, and Lisa's handing him a hug. And here's Corduroy sitting down on the floor, and the ABC blocks and the ball. If you like this story and would like to see more videos, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow for another bedtime story. Good night and sweet dreams. The end.